They signed him to a 3-year contract 2 years ago, and it was structured that they could move on from him after any given year of the deal. There's 1 year left, and they're now in a spot where the cap number cries out for an extension to knock that cap number down. He wanted an extension before last season. It is surprising to me that you've got Mike McDonald, the head coach of the team, who is so clearly saying we want him back. You've got Kubiak, who said I came here because of him. It does give Geno a little more leverage, and if he's feeling salty at all from not getting the extension last year, he holds the cards this year with that cap number. So I'm surprised they're being as candid as they are about wanting Geno until they get that cap number under control, because it does give him, and I learned this long ago, talking to a GM years ago, 20-plus years ago, you always got to be careful what you say publicly about guys who are up for new contracts, because that shit will be printed and laminated back when, people actually communicated in written form other than just what they carry around on their phones. But that stuff will be printed and laminated and shoved across the table at you when you're negotiating the contract by the agent. They're looking for anything they can to say, here's what you said, here's what you said, here's what you said. F you pay me, F you pay me, F you pay me.
Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully they can find something that makes sense. Splash the pot a little bit, whatever it is, to lower that number and give him a little bit more cash and something. And maybe that's why they're speaking so confidently the way they are about him, and maybe they know they're going to do that. So we'll see. Time will tell with that one. I do find it extremely refreshing, finally, that though Geno Smith is getting the respect he deserves. I know you're a big fan of him. You talk about him all the time. I know you've heard me talk about it. The Simms family's a big fan of Geno Smith. He used to work out with the Simms family. We've seen him throw in person, and he's one of those guys where for years we're like, man, Geno Smith his talent is a starting quarterback in the NFL. His arm is an elite NFL arm. It's elite. Plus, he's a better athlete than people give him credit for, and he's a bigger human being than people give him for. I like what's going on in Seattle right now. Seattle, right? We talked to Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba at the Super Bowl. They talked about Mike McDonald's defense. It's a lot more complex than defenses he was in, his first year in the NFL. I think it's only the tip of the iceberg as far as what that defense can be, because it takes more than just one season to kind of infuse all that there. And then Klint Kubiak, I think, fits the Mike McDonald style of football. We know the Kubiaks, it's rooted in Shanahan football. They want to run the football, and then the one thing I liked about Kubiak this year with the Saints, run the ball, and they took shots down the field. Now, it didn't always look good because they were ravaged by injuries and mostly not having their starting quarterback and having to play a rookie in Spencer Rattler made their offense not look as good as it is. But I think there's potential. Not only does it fit for the team and playing complementary football, but I think Klint Kubiak, run the ball, Kenneth Walker, Geno Smith, great deep ball thrower, Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, that's the formula to win. And now hopefully they can get a damn O-line there in Seattle, which they've been trying to do for about the last 7 years now.
Cap number of $44.5 million this year in the final season of the Geno Smith contract. $31 million in cash he's due to make, about half the total market value. But they got to knock down that 44.5, and again,
that's what's crazy. So this
leverage.
Is, to me, just why we're on it real quick. Baker and Geno, 31, and I hear we're going to give Brock Purdy $60 million a year, right? You've heard my complaints about Tua. And I'm just like, wow. I don't understand that. I don't think Brock Purdy's as good as Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry. He's not. And look what they're doing, and they're going to have wiggle room with their team because of those contracts.
And now you're going to be labeled a Brock Purdy hater. We were talking about this yesterday. Yeah. Jed York's comment was funny because at one point he used the phrase, he's a tremendous human being. I feel like they're really trying to suck up to get Brock to take less. Because, it's easy to say we want to extend him. The hard part is what's a number that works for everyone. And if he wants a lot more than they're willing to pay, they're going to have a problem. And they're going to have to decide whether or not they say, hey, Brock, there won't be a contract then. Good luck with your minimum salary for the fourth year of your career. We'll take this up again after the season. And maybe you'll have a bad year, and you're not going to have any chance at getting what you're hoping to get. All right. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.